Hello, I'm Tom Crowley. The same Tom Crowley you're about to hear in this episode of Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley. Only in this advert, I'm free of any of the character conventions or fictional constructs of the show. Anyway, have you ever wanted to write scripts like Tom Crowley? To come up with lots of ideas quickly? To approach drafting and redrafting with a positive attitude? To have a clear language for discussing storytelling ideas? And a strong sense of structure for placing individual moments within the wider arc of your script? And most importantly, would you like to tackle creative work with a happier outlook? Then you might like to take my course, Happier Scriptwriting. It's a weekly 5-lesson online course taken live with your tutor, me, Tom Crowley, and is suitable for anyone who wants to write scripts for performance on screen, stage, or radio. It contains lectures, exercises, group discussions, and all the hints and tips that I wish more people knew about how to write a great script and how to be a happier scriptwriter. Here are some testimonials. Tom is a natural and empowering teacher, and this class is him in his element, said Reese, one of the course's graduates. The blank page has lost all power to intimidate me, said Laurie, another graduate. And Benjamin Partridge of the Beef and Dairy Network podcast said, can't think of a better person to teach you how to write scripts. A very genius and also totally lovely. Thanks, Ben. The course only costs £135, and that includes all 5 live sessions and a script report on 10 pages of any project of your choosing, with the option to upgrade to notes on a full script at a discounted rate. If that's too rich for your blood, look up the course listings for details of the scholarship scheme. Go to crowleytom.com/teaching to see what course dates are on sale now. If those don't work for you, make sure to punch in your email address for the mailing list so you'll be the first to hear when new dates are added. That's crowleytom.com/teaching. Let me make you happier and more of a scriptwriter today, or as close to today as my schedule allows. Thanks for listening. And now...
And just keep in mind, if it would normally be covered by clothing, it should not be directly touching the food. Next, complaints. While we strive to offer the highest standard of service and product, our customers will not always be completely satisfied. Take this man, for example. I am not completely satisfied. Oh dear. But how should a responsible member of staff reply?
I'm very sorry to hear that. What element of your meal transaction has proven to be unsatisfactory?
Very good. Make the customer feel like their complaint is being taken seriously and ascertain the nature of their complaint. The lettuce on my big beefy is riddled with caterpillars, which were not listed as an ingredient on the menu. Here's a challenge many of our employees face, as our farm fresh lettuce is frequently found to be crawling with caterpillars and, occasionally, green fly. But how will this staff member respond?
No, it isn't. You must have serious problems with your eyesight. There is nothing on this lettuce. If you are seeing caterpillars, they are probably a blemish on your vision, hinting at greater issues later in life. Or you might just be mentally ill.
And our customer's reaction? Thank you. I apologize for wasting your time. I will consult an optician and a brain doctor at my soonest convenience. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Very good. And as soon as the customer has left the counter, then it's Crowley time.
Crowley time! Hello, and welcome to Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley. With me, Tom Crowley. Sorry, this is a bit unprofessional, but you've just caught me in the middle of a bit of admin. Let me just finish this email. Would be very grateful for any help. Blah, blah, blah. Many thanks, and all the eggs, Tom. There. I've been trying to get some information out of the council on the history of this place, Crowley Towers. But of course, it wasn't always Crowley Towers. I know it's been a broadcasting studio for a long time, but I've also managed to find some odd clues to its past. Little hints tucked away in the file store, the wine cellar, the orchard, the meat curing chamber. Just little glimpses of all the things it used to be. For example, this leaflet I found for the British Libertarian Association, stuffed behind a radiator. This is how I found out that this used to be their headquarters many, many years ago. Not for long, though, by all accounts. They decided that having one central building where they made all their decisions was too much like having a regulatory government body, so they shut it down. Then they decided that having an association at all was too much like being a government themselves, so they shut that down too. I think it's just a loose consociation of model car collectors now. Anyway, all these little clues got me wondering, so I've been trying to see if I can find some blueprints, land registry information, anything to help me unpick the history of the place. Still, that involves trying to get information from a local council, so good bloomin' luck to me. Oh, see, my email's just bounced back. This borough council is now a Tesco Metro. All grain-based products 20% off this week. Ham now available online. Tesco, it's time for yes. See? To be honest, I think my best bet is just nosing around a bit. I just spend most of my time in the studio in the sorting room, but this door, for example, I don't even know what this is. I've never been in here, I don't think. Locked.
Everything all right, sir?
Ah, Savaloy. It's my trusty postmaster, Savaloy, everyone.
Whatcha, mate?
Savaloy, do you have the key to this door?
Oh, yes, sir. I've been working here for decades, I have, since long before you came along.
Have you really?
Oh, yes, man and boy. I started out as a boy, and then later I was a man.
Great. And did you have a job, or...?
Oh, all sorts. We just sort of pitched in back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, fetching the tea, working the reception. I remember one silly tit had me working in the sorting room for a while. And there was them libertarian lads. Well, they were a funny lot. They would get me to type up all their meeting notes and rules and statutes for their organisation, and then make me shred them all right after. Then they said they weren't going to pay me because employment was a prison, so I told them to stuff it up their bums, pardon my French.
Gosh. But this door,
Oh, yes, of course. Silly me getting carried away with me memories. Now, here it is. The key for the tape room.
The tape room. Oh, wow, look at this. Old vinyl records, VHS tapes, film canisters.
It's stacked up, ain't it? I suppose they did just keep bugging stuff in here when they was done with it. I ain't even opened this door since before Roger Moore took over as Prime Minister.
Blimey, there's even a projector with a film hooked up. Shall we see what's playing?
Why not? Beats sitting on me thumbs in that sorting room like normal flipping liberty, pardon my French.
Here we go. Phones on silent, no loud eating or playing with yourself in the theatre, please. And now, our feature presentation.
Hey! Hey! Where do you think you're going?
I thought I was going over there, but then you stopped me.
What were you going over there for?
I don't know. I've never been over there before.
Never mind that. Look at this.
All right.
Are you looking at it?
Yes.
And can you see what's wrong with it?
It's tacky, it's cheap, and it's too tight on your wrist.
Not my watch. Look at my phone.
All right.
That's our Facebook page. Do you see what's wrong with that?
Yes. You haven't been that skinny in 10 years.
Cut that out. I mean this. These posts here.
Oh, those posts. Lose weight without exercise. Herbal supplements delivery. Ray-Bans 90% off.
That's right.
But who is Ray? And why would he want to ban taking 90% off?
The sunglasses.
All right. Why would he want to ban taking his sunglasses off?
Ooh, no! Don't you see? We've been hacked.
Gosh, that sounds bad.
It is bad. Someone has got into our Facebook account, and now they're making posts on our behalf.
Who would want to do a thing like that?
Bad people. Scam artists.
Oh, like Hewlett-Packard.
Scam artists, not scan. Oh, we've got to find out who did this. Did you let anybody into our Facebook account?
No. Nobody unusual anyway.
Well, all right.
Just that foreign diplomat.
Well, that... What foreign diplomat?
Well, this fella sent me a message saying that he needed our page's login details because he was trapped in an embassy siege in Afghanistan, and he needed to use our account to get in touch with the CIA so they could come and get him.
Well, that certainly sounds unusual.
It was not.
How so?
Because I said to him, that sounds unusual. And he said, well, it isn't. So I said, all right then.
Why, you... We'd better call Meta.
No,
No.
I think we should call Facebook instead.
Facebook is Meta.
I beg your pardon?
Meta. Mark Zuckerberg.
Congratulations. When did you meet him?
Do you know you're a terrible pain in the neck?
No. But hum a few bars and I'll Shazam it for you.
Maybe we ought to just find a policeman.
All right. But I don't know if he'll know the song either.
Quiet, you. Excuse me, officer.
Yeah, what do you want?
My friend wants to know if you know you're a terrible pain in the neck.
Hey, what?
Be quiet. No, officer, ignore him. We just need to report a crime.
All right, what is it?
You see, sir, we've been hacked.
You look okay to me.
No. We've been hacked online.
I don't care where you were. I tell you, you look okay to me. Now move along.
What my friend means to say is, we've been having some trouble with our Facebook account.
Oh, I get it. One of those cyber crimes, eh?
That's right.
Not my department.
Oh, please help us, officer.
Yes, a diplomat tricked us.
That wasn't a... you'll have to forgive my friend. He's a Luddite.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm from Lancashire.
Look here, officer. This is our Facebook page.
Oh, it is. That's you, is it?
That's right. So you can see a crime's been committed.
I'll say. I gave you $50 and I still haven't received any Ray-Ban.
No, officer. It wasn't... Oh!
I think what my friend was trying to say...
You two are coming with me. I'm gonna have you up on a charge.
Oh, that's good. His phone's a little low on battery.
Now here's another fine mess you've uploaded us into.
These really do hold up. They're not nearly as dated as you might think.
So ahead of their time.
Well, this really is a treasure trove, isn't it?
Yeah, cool, blimey, there's piles of the stuff.
Look at the labels on all these VHS tapes. Blind Date Ben Kingsley episode. Richard and Judy double diarrhea blooper.
Kramer versus Kramer all nude edit.
This one just says commercial final cut July 91.
Well, there's a VCR just there, sir.
Of course, let's put it on. And just hope there's no nudity or diarrhea involved.
You think you know real speed? You think you know real action? Well, you don't know anything until you've met Eric the Cantonar.
I must go fast.
Out now at all good toys and games shops, only for the Sega Mega Drive. Join Eric on an adventure that can only be measured in G-Force.
I score. Extra life. Totally radical. Cantona with attitude.
You've never faced a video game challenge like this. Can you defeat the evil Professor Ballbotman and score the winning goal against his nefarious Defendroids?
I apologize for nothing.
Make the most of Sega's unbeaten blast processing in 12 pulse-pounding levels. Can you collect all the golden yellow cards?
I am searching for abstract ways of expressing reality, abstract forms that will enlighten my own mystery. Ouch.
Free Old Trafford from tyranny and take control of the Chaos Cup in Eric the Cantonar. Out now!
Do you have the skills to be Cantona? No.
Mega Drive bundle with Eric the Cantonar game and 6-pack of Carling. Available exclusively from Toys R Us. Wicked!
Oh, those were the days. Absolutely hammered.
Very pissed up, yes, sir.
The golden age of television. Blimey, I wonder what the listeners are making of all these windows into the past.
Why don't we find out, eh, sir?
What? Oh, you've unplugged the answer machine from its usual place in the studio and brought it in here so that I can play the messages without leaving the tape room that we're currently in.
That's absolutely correct, sir.
Great.
Hello, this is Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley with me, Tom Crowley. We can't take your call at the moment. Please leave your message after the tone.
As far as I'm concerned, television marked the beginning of the end for society. In the past, people would just spend all night sitting silently staring at the fire or listening to some horrendous relative bashing out some brainless tune on the piano. And so everyone was a lot angrier, there were far more rage-induced murders, and we certainly weren't wasting any of our time worrying about this overpopulation nonsense, that's for damn sure as mustard as sure as bloody damn...
What an interesting perspective. Thanks, caller. What have you found there, Savaloy?
An old reel-to-reel machine. These ain't been used in 50 years.
Oh, right. Is this the sort of machine they used to use to record brilliant television programmes on broadcast, then wipe them 5 minutes later?
It's them. They didn't wipe all of them, though. There's a stack of old videotape there. Chuck us one of them over. Looks like this thing's got playback and all.
Debbie Doncaster, 1963.
That'll do.
All right, Debbie, let's see what you've got.
Wagons roll.
This is far from the first drafty BBC office building I have had the pleasure of venturing into. But this one is a little bit different, because these rooms belong to a unique department within the corporation. They're home of experimental, computerized sound and music, the BBC Radiotropic Workhouse. Here with me is one of their engineers, or perhaps I should say composers, Debbie Doncaster.
Hello.
Debbie, what are you working on at the moment?
I've recently finished an experimental composition, a personal project, but one which I think could work very well in a television drama or possibly a documentary.
Does it have a name? Or would that be too conventional for your department?
No, it does. It's called Dear Nigel.
Would you mind if we had a listen?
Not at all.
Dear Nigel, you will find that the locks have been changed, and the spare key under the flower pot removed. You find yourself at this time entirely chucked. Many considerations and factors are employed in decisions such as this. See first the socks, seemingly infinite socks, filthy and crusty, amassing daily in vast number on the floor. Your underwear disgusts, especially when disposed of in the bath. Your conversation is pain, 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 pain. When you are asked to pick up milk from the shop, milk is seldom found. When you are asked not to pick up women on the street, many, 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 filthy and crusty, amassing daily in vast number on the floor. I have paid our rent in full for 3 months, even though you make more money than me, or at least that's what you claim. And the number of records you keep bringing home all the time, many, 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 suggests it to be true. You make more money than me. I have paid our rent in vast number, filthy and crusty, on the floor. Your clothes and your books, and all those records, are on the pavement outside the flat, on the street, filthy and crusty. And if they are not collected by you before 5 o'clock, they will be collected by the dustman, and he will do what he wishes with them. Pick up women on the street. We had good times. I remember them. Dinner at the Savoy, the Symphony, Skegness, but the negatives, many, 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 and the positives, seldom found. It does not make me happy to make you unhappy. But I console myself knowing that I will never sit through another Sunday lunch watching you stare at my sister's tits. Goodbye.
Well, Beethoven, eat your heart out.
Oh, I don't know.
And what does the piece mean to you?
It's a sort of a tonal poem. I think it evokes elemental concepts like light and growth and entropy, but as far as I'm concerned, the listener can hear the words and the sounds and draw their own conclusions from it.
I see. And who is Nigel?
He's my boyfriend. Well, he was.
And has he heard the song?
He has now. He always listens to this show. He loves it.
Not anymore, I expect.
No.
Well, Debbie Doncaster, thank you.
Not at all.
Oh dear, Nigel. Still, his loss is our gain. What a fascinating clip. All this stuff's great. Savaloy, I don't know what to put on next. There's too much to choose from.
Probably about time we heard from the listeners, don't you think, sir?
Oh, good idea. Let's check the messages.
Hello. I once saw a programme where a bear lady rode a cow around a fun fair. Have you got that one? Thank you.
Sorry, we're not really taking requests. Especially not that one. We're really still just scratching the surface here. The stuff's stacked up to the ceiling. Every discarded cassette tape, film canister and CD ever brought into the studio must have just been chucked in here.
Oh, yes, I suppose so.
Savaloy, you all right?
Yes, I was just remembering.
Remembering what?
Well, a long time ago, my friend who worked here gave me a cassette tape as a goodbye present. I remember I put it down in the studio somewhere and blast it went missing. I always thought it got half-inched and taped over, but you never know. It might have just got filed away in here somewhere.
You mean you never looked in here for it before?
I never realised how much stuff there still was hanging about. This was a long time ago, sir. Any single-use plastics and rubber we didn't just chuck in the bin, we'd usually burn it on the school playing fields.
Well, you might have got lucky, you never know.
Gordon Bennett, I wonder.
Well, let's keep an eye out. Maybe we... Oh!
What?
Look, there it is, the label. To Savaloy.
Really?
Oh, sorry, false alarm. It's not to Savaloy, it's Telly Savalas.
Oh, well...
Kazoo concert.
Oh. Well,
yeah, maybe not. Oh, but just underneath that, here's something a bit more recent. A DVD. The label says Satellite Channel 587. It's dated 2003.
Well, there's a DVD hooked up to this telly.
Well, less chatting, more selecting input 2.
Welcome back, y'all, and gosh, I hope you're having a pleasant day. In the break, Reggie and I were just discussing the importance of eating your vegetables.
That's right, Reverend Mitch. When we're little kids, Mama's always telling us, eat your greens, but when we grow up and have to look after ourselves, we forget all about it.
Yes, we do. Now, as well as being chock full of vitamins and low on calories, the nutrients found in fresh vegetables have been shown scientifically to help all the body's processes, not least digestion, and also helps keep your blood pressure in check, lowering the risk of strokes and even preventing some types of cancer.
And it ain't just your green vegetables, is it, Mitch? Like your broccoli or lettuce leaves?
Goodness me, no, Reggie. All the earth's bounty has something to offer. Even the humble potato. The stalwart radish.
Well, of course, it's a common misconception that the tomato is a vegetable, ain't it?
Yes, that's surely a misapprehension that has stuck around like a bad smell.
But they ain't vegetables, is they, Mitch?
No, Reggie. As you well know, the tomato is not a vegetable. The tomato is from hell!
That's right! Wicked, sinful baubles impersonating God's own produce.
Filthy tomatoes, the harbingers of lust, painted temptresses of Eden.
Inscrutable proto-flora, the devil's swollen red family jewels.
People, when you see your kith and kin entertaining thoughts of tomatoes, you smack that juicy devilry out of their hands, and you say unto them, out, demon, out!
And Jesus did say unto the Pharisees, feast ye not on the flesh of the man, nor of the pelican, nor the tomato, for these my Father has called unclean.
Folks, I want to tell you a tale. It's the tale of a little girl called Kaylee, a sweet, apple-cheeked young lady from my congregation.
Amen.
Well, folks, young Kaylee was at a family picnic not long after her 8th birthday.
Lord.
And on the table at that picnic, there was a handsome buffet of healthy treats for the enjoyment of Kaylee and the rest of her family, the Hoffnermansons.
Praise the Lord.
One of these delicious dishes was a garden salad prepared by some distant cousin. The tongs of temptation perched provocatively on the rim of the bowl, the handles extended towards Kaylee's innocent little hand.
Take care now.
Now, what poor little Kaylee couldn't have known was that the cousin who prepared that garden salad was an unbeliever, uneducated in the ways of God's children, and concealed among the pure and holy spinach and arugula were nestled oozing slices of that rouge menace, Satan's own tomato.
Lord, spare the little children.
Well, I'm sorry to tell y'all that little Kaylee, in her innocence, ate those tomatoes.
Oh, Lord.
She was pure and clean of sin, and, Lord, she knew not what she did, but eat those tomatoes she did. And within 1 year, her father's fax repair shop went out of business.
Mercy, Lord.
So the next time you are at a family picnic and you see some satanic pervert of a second cousin wheeling out a profane snack dirtied by the seductive touch of Lucifer's shiny red rectal polyp, you think of Kaylee and you throw that sinful dish right to the floor where it belongs.
No, mercy, Lord.
Now, you fine people out there, do you want to save God's children from these pert globules of pure wickedness?
Yes, they do.
Do you want to scour our beautiful county of Bubba Quamset of Beelzebub's banquet?
Hopefully so, sweet Jesus.
Then you go to your telephone and you call our hotline right now and pledge $30.
It ain't enough, Lord.
All right, Reggie, $50.
Jack it up, Reverend. Amen.
$100 to our campaign to buy up all of Reggie's cousins' remainder stock of industrial-strength weed killer and spread it across the land, purging the fields and greenhouses of the profligate propagation of those titillating turgid tubers, those pustulant, provocative pulses. Tumor of the vine, curse of the couscous, scourge of the salad bar, those vile, villainous,
Sweet Jesus, God, hear our prayer.
Tomatoes!
And I don't care much for beetroot, neither.
Calm yourself, Brother Reggie.
Sorry, I just got so fired up about the scourging there.
Whew! Well, shortly we'll be back with our special report on how light-up sneakers are turning your children into musical theater people. But first, let's hear from today's sponsor, Sacred Heart Hunting and Murder Supplies.
Jesus wouldn't settle for Walmart bullets.
I think that's probably enough of that.
Too right.
Let's check the messages.
My favourite telly memory would have to be the Royal Variety Performance 1965. Val Doonican off his face on paint fumes, belting out Walk Tall straight into Princess Margaret's face. She's crying her eyes out, the Queen Mum screaming for bloody revenge. It's television magic any which way you look at it.
More magic moments from the archives there. The golden age of television. Now, Savaloy, we should also probably see about the listeners' letters at some point. You know, your usual job, sorting the post.
Ah, blimey, you would bring that up. Yes, sir, there were a few. There you are. Whew, what challenging and rewarding work.
Ta very much. Right. First up, this is exciting. Here's a letter from an old friend and long-time listener, Luke Malkin in Bolivia. He says, happy to learn I might get a second crack at coming to a Crowley event. I missed the ill-fated first one because I was waiting for a new kitchen to be delivered from this new shinbone place on my high street. It's several days late now, but I'm a patient sort of guy. Love to Savaloy. Luke sends his love, Savaloy.
Thanks, Luke. I love you too.
Bit forward. Anyway, Luke there is referring to last episode's fairly disastrous first attempt at a live Crowley time experience. If you missed that whole debacle, you can always go back and listen to episode 31 and relive the trauma. And yes, Luke, since you ask, I am hoping to put on a live Crowley Time event sometime soon, but nothing's confirmed yet. Of course, as soon as any such thing becomes anything resembling real, you listeners will be informed. I don't think Shinbone Entrepreneurials has outlets in Bolivia, though. You might want to get in touch with your local trade ombudsman to verify that what you're getting is genuine shinbone. Check the cooker. You can usually tell by the kite mark and the above average number of scuff and gouge marks. Next, this from Andy Horton. Dear Tom, thank you for the recent opportunity to visit Crowley Time behind the scenes. Yes. As a long-time fan, it was a pleasure to have the chance to inspect the inner workings of your enterprise. I was, of course, surprised to see that your premises are surrounded by barbed wire atop high walls. Once the security guard had conducted the full cavity search, returned my clipboard and pencil to me and issued the required gas mask, I was glad to begin the tour. Seeing the various vats in which the many characters of your show are grown was an eye-opener, swiftly punctuated by our passing a door marked rejects. Is the barbecue smell typical in that part of the building? After a brief stop in the canteen for a complimentary bowl of rice pudding, it was a pleasure to see the post room and to meet old Savoy, though I have some questions about the one-sided nature of the lock on the post room door, a health and safety risk if ever I saw one. Regardless, it was a lovely visit and I wish every success for your business going forwards. Now, with this one I must offer some clarification. Yes, I did grant Mr. Horton a glimpse inside Crowley Towers, but only because he asked very nicely and he claimed he was very ill. And yes, security is quite tight around here, but as for all this business about vats and characters and rejects, well, I'm sure I've got no idea what he's talking about there.
Kill me.
Be quiet, Dr. Bumgarden 17B. Still, thanks for your letter, Andy, and thanks for not stealing too much stationery while you were here. Last time I let any of these ungrateful bastards stick their noses in, I swear to... Now, finally, yes, we have something of a novelty. Both halves of a married couple have written in independently. Firstly, our old friend Peter Shanks emails to say, Hi, Mr. Tom, just wanted to say thank you for episode 31. As always, you have come up with the goods and made my day a bit more happier. Well, I'm very pleased to hear it, Peter, thank you. P.S. I think my wife wants to leave me because I can't stop impersonating Chuntley Buffingham. Well, we can now hear from Peter's wife, Sam, because she herself has left a comment on this show's Patreon page. She says, Hi there, Mr. Tom Crowley. Just wanted to give a massive thank you for all that you do. It keeps my husband, Peter Shanks, happy. There we go, that corroborates that. Who featured in episode 28's Ask Wingnut. He did indeed. He hasn't shut up about it since. Can you please ask Mike Shinbone to send him a little message telling him to pay a bit more attention to me and not that Marco DePony bloke. Keep up the awesome work. Oh, well, thanks very much, Sam. Sorry to hear you've become yet another Crowley Time widow, but I'm glad you're also finding it entertaining. As for Mike, just give me a second.
Who's this?
Mike, it's Tom.
Oh, you. What do you want? I'm a busy man.
Would you tell Peter Shanks to pay more attention to his wife?
God damn it. Oh, fine. Peter Shanks, say hi to your wife now and again. She cares about you. Is that all?
While I've got you, Mike, are you selling kitchens in Bolivia these days?
Sure, why?
Just checking.
Well, there you go. Now, what's the fee for this?
Oh, there's no fee. It's just a favour.
What?
Bye, Mike. Bye. Bye. Well, there you have it. To Peter and Sam, I hope that Crowley Time continues to be a net benefit to your relationship rather than a terrible curse. All the eggs to you both. And for the novelty of having a bit of couples counselling in the letters section, I'm awarding you to
Letter of the Episode!
And as
Letter of the Episode!
You get a free digital download of this show's soundtrack album, Discount Bin. And a brand new prize beginning from right now, a set of the hot off the presses Crowley Time Casual Magnificent stickers. Yes, listeners, these are deluxe custom cut vinyl stickers available for purchase from the show's merchandise shop at crowleytime.com, alongside the show's Maximum Elite t-shirt and Sumptuoso sweatshirt still available. Each sticker set comes with 2 stickers, one of my own screaming face and one of a Crowley Time speech bubble. Put them together to make a facsimile of this show's cover art, or stick them randomly in different places to astound and confuse your friends. And since it's the first time I'm giving these away, Peter and Sam, I'll even send you a set each. That's 4 stickers. I'll be in touch soon to arrange delivery. As for the rest of you, don't forget you can pick up your own sticker set from crowleytime.com for £3 plus postage. And why not pick up a t-shirt or a sweater while you're there? All my Crowley Time merchandise is high quality, expertly designed, and singles you out as a discerning and attractive fan of stupid rubbish like this. Excuse me. But whether you're a paying customer or not, do remember to write into the show. I always love to hear from you about your thoughts on the episodes, the intricate details of your lives, and any questions you might have. Just email crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com. That's
crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com.
And you could be Phew, thanks, Savaloy. That was rather a lot of post in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're flipping welcome.
Still looking for your tape?
I thought I had it there for a sec, but it was just a signed photograph of David Lloyd George.
Well, they do get around. Well, good luck. Hopefully we get...
Hello? What sinister goings-on are occurring in here?
Oh, hello, Chuntley. Hey everyone, it's Sir Chuntley Buffingham, celebrated thespian, host of regular feature Drama Parlour, and Knight of the Realm, apparently.
Thank you, thank you.
What brings you here to the tape room?
Well, I've been meaning to pop in for quite a while, you see. There's a particular tape I'm looking for. It's of my very first appearance on television.
No.
Yes. I'm fairly sure I left a VHS copy of it in here at some point. I thought it might still be hanging around. Well, good luck trying to find anything in here. It's a blooming... Here it is. Oh, yes, Series 3, Episode 32 of Constable Charlie.
Constable Charlie. I've heard of that.
I'm not surprised. It ran for about 30 years or something. You know the sort of thing. Wobbly sets, missed cues, stumbled lines left in the broadcast. The golden age of television. Just the place for a talented young buck fresh out of radar with dazzling screen presence to hone his craft.
Well, we've got to have a look at this. Stick it on the telly.
All right then. Prepare yourself to witness the birth of a phenomenon.
Constable Charlie, starring Jack Packett, also featuring Gertie Bertarelli and guest starring Chuntley Descartes Buckingham.
Hello, hello, hello. Nice night out, isn't it? You know, it was on a night like this that I proposed to my Edie. Only that night, I wasn't wearing a girdle. And some of the street lamps were still gas, if you can believe it. And there were Nazi bombs raining down on innocent women and children indiscriminately all around. It were out of fear that I asked her. Still, some have it much worse. Speaking of fear, we had a bit of a shock down at the station the other day. Let me tell you about it.
Morning, Constable.
Hello, 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 Morag. Much to report.
We've had a drunken disorderly, a public indecency and a sordid act committed on the statue of Pitt the Elder, and I haven't even had my tea yet.
Milk and sugar?
Come off it, Charlie. You know how I take it.
Yes, I do. I do. Right, tea, coming up.
Yeah. Right, everyone stick your flaming hands up or else you'll have a mush full of hot lead.
Saints preserve us.
Flaming Nora.
Enough of that lip, coppers. Your jackbooted fascist reign is at an end.
Now, hold on a second, young man.
Button it, Grandad.
Here, hold on. I know you, don't I? Aren't you Chuck, the butcher's boy?
No.
Then aren't you Sean, the barber's boy?
No.
Hang on, aren't you Neil, the referend's boy?
No.
Phil, the pie maker's boy?
No.
Nick, the burglar's boy?
No.
Robert, the automaton manufacturer's boy?
No.
Mike, the audio engineer's boy?
Yes.
Mike! Little Mike Jackson, why are you doing this?
Because I don't care about nothing no more. All those flaming promises of a brighter future for us young lads has come to naught, and now I just want to burn the old lot down, I do. The innocence of youth is gone. Society has nothing to offer me, and now my best years are behind me.
Mike, if your father could hear this...
He'd probably say the mic's peaked.
Oi, watch it, old lady.
Now, calm down, son. She didn't mean anything by it.
Well, I mean this. The state is finished. I'm toppling British society, starting with Turnham Wrigley Police Station.
Turnham Wrigley's miles away. This is Turnham Stiff.
As will I be if you don't pipe down.
That's disgusting.
No, I mean as in, you'll be dead.
Now, my lad, Let's not say anything we don't mean.
I've never meant anything more sincerely in my entire life.
You said you liked my potato salad at the last street party.
All right, I did also mean that. But I mean this even more. Mean what? I can't even remember now. The point is, I'm taking control. I'll lock things down here, then all we have to do is wait for the rest of Britain to wake up, shake off their shackles and topple the country's governing bodies, which I'm guessing has to happen in the next day or two.
Now, listen up, son. I know all this anarchism and lawlessness sounds very trendy and hip, but you've got to remember, without society, the powerless would be left out in the cold with nobody to defend them. There'd be no ambulances to help the sick, no police to defend the weak, and no lollipop men to risk life and limb so that the little children can get to the side of the street their school or church is on. And when I was fighting in the war, I risked life and limb myself to stop the bullies from taking over. I'm not a bully, son, and I don't think you are either. And with God, Her Majesty, and Turnham Stiff FC as my witnesses, I swear, if you hand over that gun, we'll forget this whole silly episode ever happened. And I'll keep trying to make our society a better place for bright young lads like you.
Well...
That's right, son. You can do it. Just give me the gun.
Oh, all right.
There we are. Morag! For goodness' sake, what did you do that for?
I've always remembered the words my grandfather said to me at my 5th birthday party. Never give an anarchist a second chance.
But what do you think his father's going to say when he finds out?
He'll probably say the mic's gone dead.
Oh, Morag, you are a lunatic.
Well, that was extraordinary, wasn't it? I'd heard that you really want to make an impression with these small guest appearances, so you might have noticed I put a little extra pizzazz into my death scene. Yes, I had picked that up. Well, thanks for sharing that snippet of Buffingham history, Chuntley. No, you're welcome. Right. Savaloy, have you had any luck finding that tape of yours?
Oh, no, sir. Not in all this lot. It's like trying to find a digestive in an enormous lorry full of oatcakes.
Courage, Savaloy, dear chum. Well, I'll take my debut and be gone. Which way's the bog, Tom? Oh, I'll show you. That's very kind. No, best to be sure, after last time. Hold the fort a moment, Savaloy.
Can do, Skipper.
I really don't know what all the fuss was about. The daycare lady was very upset.
Savaloy, hello. It's me, Gwen. I wanted to say goodbye and I didn't know. I thought this would be the best way. I'm sure you've worked this out for yourself now, but I'm sorry. I can't leave Henry. I just can't. He leaves for Angola tomorrow, and I'm going with him. The work he's doing to conserve the endangered frilled man-eating rat lizard is just too important. And he needs my support, even if I don't know if I... No, it's not right to say. Savaloy, the time we've spent together has been the happiest of my whole life, and I will never, ever forget it. You've given me the greatest gift that anyone can ever give another human being. You've reminded me what it is to be loved. And the food mixer is incredibly helpful too, thanks for that. I will think of you every time I see a deep red sunset through the tree branches, and every time someone plays Moon Glow, and every time I have sausages, obviously. I do love you, Savaloy. I envy whatever woman comes after me. Goodbye. I wish you all the eggs in the world.
12 times I've shown him and he'd still end up embarrassing himself all over the caretaker's cupboard if I wasn't there to help. I ask you, How are you getting on, Savaloy? Still no joy finding that tape?
No, sir, I'm afraid not. No joy.
Oh, well. We'll have to come back and have another look sometime.
Sure, sir. For now, I'd better get back to the sorting room. No rest for a wicked old bachelor.
Indeed not.
Sir?
Yes?
Thank you for, helping me look.
Well, not at all.
Yeah.
What a funny fellow. Well, listeners, it's almost time for me to say goodbye. But before that, it's been another bumper couple of months for Crowley activity, so I'm going to have to draft in my pal Wesley Westchester, American game show host from the 50s, to tell you what else I've been up to lately in our plugs section. Here's all the Crowley time you can have when the Crowley time is over. Tom Crowley recently wrote a deep dive article for the British Comedy Guide commemorating 20 years of the independent Scottish video game review and comedy web series Consolvania, including exclusive interviews with the show's creators Robert Florence and Ryan McLeod. Read Tom's thoughts on how Consolvania predicted so many other trends in online video creation and how it inspired this very show to boot. Search British Comedy Guide Consolvania to find the article. But if you want to hear more Tom Crowley and lots of him, make sure to check out the brand new sci-fi comedy adventure podcast for kids, A to Z. Tom stars as madcap inventor Zux opposite his latest creation, Eileen, an artificial intelligence played by previous Crowley Time guest star Gemma Arrowsmith. Zux created Eileen, but he doesn't realize he made her capable of thinking for herself. And now she's trying to get Zux out of his shell and out into the outdoors, making new friends, learning new things, and trying to bring down the oppressive algorithm that's making everyone's lives more dull. Keep your kids entertained by playing them A to Z. That's letter A, number 2, letter Z. Available on all good podcast apps and at Gen Z Media's website, gzmshows.com. But if that isn't enough, if you still gotta have more Tom Crowley, then get over to BBC Sounds on their app or at bbc.co.uk/sounds and look up Radio 4's Thanks a Lot Milton Jones, Series 6, Episode 5, Oil of Ulez. Tom Crowley guest stars opposite celebrated comedian Milton Jones and the regular cast, comedy royalty Josie Lawrence and Tom Goodman Hill, in a loopy adventure through the world of vehicle regulations and civic planning. Streaming on BBC Sounds until the 13th of June. That's all the Tom Crowley we're Tom Crowleying right now, so pull up your Tom Crowley and go Tom Crowley yourself today. Now back to you, Tom Crowley! Thanks, Wesley. And with that, it's time for me to close the door on the tape room, at least for now. What an adventure into the history of broadcasting it's been. Thanks for joining me on it. Before I go, I'd just like to thank my special guest for this episode, Peter Wicks.
Thank you so much, Tom Crowley. It's such a pleasure.
I expect you'll be off for a nice cup of tea and a biscuit now, eh?
Grainy, not too crushable, nice and easy on the cat's behind. That's the kind of thing you're looking for.
Sounds great. Peter is a brilliant voice actor working in all sorts of media, but most frequently heard in video games these days. Ones like Age of Darkness, Final Stand, Moonbriar, and World of Tanks. He's also a fantastic audiobook performer, and in fact he recently voiced the audio version of the first Victoriosity novel, High Voltage, which has been mentioned on the podcast before. He has also appeared as a regular character in the mainline Victoriosity podcast series in Season 2, and Wooden Overcoats fans will know him from the summer special, still available for purchase at woodenovercoats.com. And as if all those credits weren't enough, he's also a newly minted award winner. Peter just recently took home the One Voice Award for Best Audiobook Performance in the Fiction category for his reading of Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. If you'd like to keep up with where he's sticking his voice next, you can find him on social media at Wickerpest on Twitter or is.it.peterwicks on Instagram. And if you need a voice for anything, whether it's a radio drama, a game, or the audio guide to the site of a major historical atrocity, you know who to call. It's me. But you might also like to consider Peter Wicks, the seal of vintage quality. Speaking of giving people money, thanks to everyone who signed up to this show's Patreon at patreon.com/crowleytime. I've been really loving pouring time and effort into this show lately, and it's only thanks to you generous people that I can afford to do so. If anything, I'd like to spend even more of my time on it and get a few more episodes out in a year. And the only way that's going to happen is if it brings in a bit more money. And with that in mind, I have a bit of an announcement to make. Brace yourselves. Starting from the next full-length numbered episode, I'm putting my Patreon rate up. All right, just wait a second. I'm not going bonkers with it. I'm just raising the minimum donation threshold for the standard supporter tier, the rate you have to pay per episode to get the bonus material, from £2 to £3 or local equivalent. Okay, look, I'm sorry, but it's been a good few years now since I set that price, and if it's any consolation, I'm pretty sure this won't even catch me up with inflation. I'm also planning to add an extra tier, possibly 2, for the absolute superfans with different rewards. But don't worry, every supporter at any tier will still get each episode's bonus material, same as always. And speaking of which, this episode's is the digital single of Debbie Doncaster's experimental masterpiece, Dear Nigel, including the exclusive instrumental version. Go to patreon.com/CrowleyTime to claim your reward or sign up as a supporter of the show, but be sure to watch out for instructions on the new pricing tiers in the coming month or two. But whether you're just now planning to sign up, or you've been supporting me for years, or you're planning to cancel your support in disgust after this, or you've never paid me a penny but you've been a faithful listener and recommended me to your friends, thank you. Thank you for giving me an excuse to spend my time doing this. The next episode will be released as soon as I've figured out how to change the tier settings on Patreon. So make sure to subscribe, so you'll be alerted at the precise moment that happens. Everything you've just heard was made by me, Tom Crowley, and featured special guest performer Peter Wicks. Please submit all praise, questions or complaints to @atomcrowley on social media, or email crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com. To help me gear up and get my jabs so I can explore even more of the dingy depths of Crowley Towers, go to patreon.com/CrowleyTime and become a supporter today. Or go to crowleytime.com and buy some of the show's merchandise or its soundtrack album. And remember, 'tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. But 'tis better never to have contracted a sexually transmitted infection than to have had one and lost it.
It must have been moonglow, way up in the blue. It must have been moonglow.